Let's talk about crystallizing your core values and purpose. Great companies know who they are and where they're going. Now more than ever, you need to define what you will not compromise no matter what. Those are your core values. You really need to have this written down. You need to have it posted in your office. You need to have it in your presentations. You need to have it on your website. It needs to be in the list and buy packets. Everyone needs to know what your core values are. Everyone needs to know what your core purpose is, and that is your idealistic motivation for doing what you do. Everyone in this room needs to have a BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goal. If you don't have one, you'll never get there. I will tell you, all great companies have core values, core purpose, and a BHAG. A BHAG is a big goal that will take extraordinary effort to achieve that success. It can be a short term, it can be a long term. Some of you are pulling out the sheet. You'll see we have examples of company core values, purpose, and a BHAG. By the way, this came out of an article in 1996, 4 years prior to the book Good to Great being written. And this article came from the same guy who wrote Good to Great, and that's Jim Collins. And he mentions that in the book, Good to Great. You look at all those companies, those are all, quote, great companies. Maybe Fannie and Freddie excluded. I don't know. But I don't know if they're in there on this example. Are they one of the examples on there? Okay, good. I shouldn't have even said anything. But they were on a greater report. Anyway, the key is every company has a core value and a core purpose. Somebody grab one of those, the one that jumps out at you that you really, really like, so we can get a handle or an idea on what a company core value is. Some brave soul, read one of them.
Corporate social responsibility.
Corporate, and which company is that?
Merck.
Merck. Corporate social responsibility. Do they have any others? They show any others on there?
For them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent in all aspects of the company. Science-based innovation, honesty and integrity. Profit, but profit from work that benefits humanity.
So everything Merck does drives off their values. I guarantee if you go into their office to apply for a job, this will get pulled out in front of you. You'll need to sign it. You need to understand it. They'll review that. All of their decisions will be made off of those core values. We want to make money. Everybody wants to make money, but they want to make sure that the profit comes as the result of benefiting others. It's one of the reasons why they're great. Somebody read one of the company core purpose that you seem to resonate or like. Now, see, okay, let me talk to you real quick on the core values. You will not compromise your core values no matter what. No matter what. You'll leave the industry. In other words, how many of you, if you have to lie, cheat, and steal to finally closing these transactions, are just going to walk away from real estate? Okay, well, that's a core value. Okay, it's a deal breaker. If I can't honestly and ethically conduct business, I'm out of there. That's a value. Does that make sense? For some, it's customer service, excellence in everything we do. I mean, there's a number of different ones. How about somebody read a company core purpose that you like?
I like Walmart's.
Yeah.
Give ordinary folks a chance to buy same things that rich people.
You know, it doesn't have to be fancy. It worked for Walmart. I don't care what you think about Walmart. Phenomenal success story. Okay? It doesn't have to be fancy. Here's what it has to be, though. It's your idealistic motivation for what you do, and here's what it answers for your client. What's in it for them when they do business with you? Now, some people, clients, when they write this out, the core purpose, it becomes like to get rich and support my family, and that's okay. That could be an internal purpose. That's not your company core purpose, because that's not going to motivate your clients, right? They already think you make too much money on a transaction, which is not true. That's a perception. But it can be very, very simple. Like that. Does anybody have core values that they understand? You have them drilled down. I'm going to save Stu's because he's going to show it on his PowerPoint. And he's worked that up. Does anyone else have their core values worked out? That if somebody said, what are your core values, that you can roll through them? That want to share? It's important that we do this. You need to get this down. You should have no more than 6. 3 to 4 is a good number. And let's not say just honesty and integrity. Everybody says that. let's not get cliche on this, okay? Let's really think it out. You need to have that really bulletproof down. It needs to be on your website. When you come into your office, it needs to be plaqued because that means it's etched in stone. Same with your core purpose. It needs to be on your website. It needs to be on your list and buy packets. You need your executives to know what your values and purpose are, and you need to recruit to your values and purpose. And remember, top agents want that anyway. Well, I would absolutely agree that that is something that, and when we write values and purpose, we don't want to have the negative words in it. We want to have the positive side on it. But absolutely, that we need to craft that. I could take some time to work through that now, but I think I would rather, maybe even after this time, just sit with you and have a conversation about a number of things, but especially that. How would you craft and turn that around? Because once you do, and you get that in there, you need to tell the world. So, right? Of core values, have fun while we're working. So one of the key aspects in that, as you're recruiting owners or you're recruiting executives coming in, it's like, listen, life is short. We've got a tough job. Every time when we get together, and when we're going out to do our day, we want to have fun. And what will happen is others will see that we're relaxed, we're loose, we're enjoying each other, and enjoying life. And I tell you what, there's a lot of people that want to jump on that bus, especially right now. See, now what she's doing here, she had a goal. She's finding out who the target is, and she's setting specifics on when that has to get done. Now she's going to put that in her calendar, be giving all of you a call. So don't ignore that call when it's coming. Oh, and I'm not available. We're not going to do that, right? We're going to sit with her, because all that will do is help you grow your company too. That's excellent. Does anyone else have a BHAG? Company. So, and let's just talk real quick with Stu. Last year at Savannah, and correct me if I'm wrong on my numbers. When Stu started with me in coaching, he was, I think, 14th in the market. And last year, I think we were around 8th, right? Market, right? Ranking, roughly. And I sat with Stu and I said, Stu, you need to plan to be #1 by next year. 2010, you're #1 in your market. You need to believe it. We need to set our goals and plans toward it. We need to share it with the other executives. We need to recruit the right people in to become #1 in the market. And that was your big, hairy, audacious goal for 2010.
I announced it at the week after this meeting, at our business meeting. I told everybody that's what we.
Last year. So what happened? Let's talk about 2010. What happened in 2010? So, but the bottom line is you planned for it. You also worked towards getting there, and you brought some people on the bus.
I brought them in a month earlier.
I
fought for a year to get them.
Well, you brought the highest producer in the market. The highest producing team. Took a while to get him in. Brought him in.
They're not the only ones. I brought other top producers.
Right, right. But the one group, but he brought other top producers in. And one of the other things that Stu did last year, and we talked with him about that, is making room for increase. And we got Stu to look at before. And it's kind of tough sometimes. We're looking at how to work and pay the bills, but he was very, very smart, very intuitive, and really.
Say it. God led me to this.
Okay, and to the space where he could grow it without even hardly a lot more than you were even spending at your current space. And now the increase was there and was filling it up, and now you got to bust the walls out and bring some more in there. That's a great problem to have. But he planned for it. He set a goal, and he believed he could achieve it. And then he started executing. And obviously, everybody, we all have things we have to work on. But if he hadn't set that goal, never would have happened. We fail to set large goals because we don't know how to get there. Now, to be honest with you, that it may have sounded like a big, hairy, audacious goal, and he doesn't realize this yet, but he's going to have a real big, hairy, audacious goal. Because I will tell you that a big, hairy, audacious goal takes extraordinary effort to achieve. Take a look, though. Let's read one of those or two of those BHAGs. Somebody grab one of those and read that on the BHAGs. Because a BHAG, the reason why you need that BHAG is on those days when you feel like quitting. Has anyone felt like quitting in the last couple of years? Has there been a day when you've wanted to just throw it all in, right? Okay?
All of this year.
Right? I mean, we're always feeling like, I'm done, I quit. The BHAG will help you stay in the game. When you feel like throwing in the towel, it's like, no, that goal has to be achieved. And I will tell you, in the boardrooms of all of those companies, somebody had the audacity to throw a big goal up on every one of those achieved it. Just start reading some of those. Somebody, read a BHAG. Somebody read the Nike one, because I'm from Oregon.
That's not Ice Crush it.
Okay. They wrote that, those hippies in the rainforest of Oregon in the 1970s. And for most of you who can, I think most everyone in this room can remember that, in the 70s you would go into a department store, and what did you have? You had Adidas everywhere. There was no Nike. For them to say that back then, what do you think? The other one I love is Sony. What is Sony's?
Become the company most known for changing the worldwide sport in the quality image of these products.
1950s, the paradigm for made in Japan was what? Cheap junk. 1990s, made in Japan, quality, high tech. Sony was the one behind it. Somebody had the audacity to throw that big, hairy, audacious goal up there. 85. So by the 80s, it was really already established that Sony would be making high-quality products, and it would actually permeate over to all other made-in-Japan products because they were so good. They had a relentless pursuit on excellence on that. This is where you need to be in your company. You're no different from Sony. You're no different from any of these others. We need to think that way, start acting, and start bringing those right people on to get there. And by the way, to get to your big, hairy, audacious goal, number one in the market, it's people. It's first who, then what are you going to do once you assemble your team. Now, gosh, we got this great team together. Where can we go? We can go win the Super Bowl because we have the right players on the team. Or national championship if you're a Ducks fan. There's probably no other Duck fans in here, but me, that's okay. Knowing your differentiators is very important. When you know what separates you from your competition, you can, with confidence, eliminate them without mentioning them. We talked about this yesterday. Stu will have some up on his presentation. I'm going to put ours up for our company just to show you what a feature benefit statement is. When I started this company in 2004, I did a Google search. I think there were 30,000 sales coaching companies out there, so in theory, the world really didn't need another one. However, when I identified my feature benefits to really understand what separates us from the rest, we can eliminate them without mentioning them. And so a differentiator is a feature, the benefit. So we get to know you better than any other program. We assess you 4 different ways. Most one-on-one coaching programs assess you maybe 1. We have 4 assessments. We get to know you better. You have a much more solid foundation. We spend more time with you. Most coaching programs, and I was VP of a large real estate training company before starting our company, and there was a lot of the big name coaching programs that met every other week. Everybody wanted to meet weekly, so I gave them what they wanted. And here's one key thing in business. If you find a need that's out there, fill it. Give them what they want. If they want something, give it to them. And you will find yourself having more business than you know what to do with. We customize too. We really, really, really are about customizing and tailoring your coaching program to you. We offer a systematic approach. It's the smart sales solution. Everyone needs a system and a process. We help deliver that. We go beyond coaching. We obviously have training services. We also can lead in on some marketing help, one-stop shop, and then we do it for less. Obviously, with our price points, we'll talk about that later, do it for less.